think we've got to start with Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, simply by virtue of the fact that we've seen the game several times over the past few years in trailer form. And I guess there's not been much revealed thus far in terms of gameplay, and there was a hue and cry for combat, and we got combat. We got lots of combat, gratuitous amounts of combat, some might say. Oliver, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, to me, this looks really, really, really good. According to Ninja Theory, this is all captured on Series X. I mean, there are some obvious compromises, like there's some low-res volumetrics in the trailer, and there's like a little bit of aliasing, what I noticed, at least as far as I can tell, in this like really low quality
yeah, it wasn't
code.
high quality.
Yeah, which I'm sure we'll complain about with a lot of these games, but it looks unreal, if you'll forgive me the pun. The meshes are super, super dense. The facial rendering is like some of the highest quality I've seen, up there with Matrix Awakens and other really advanced titles. Some shots of the characters just look absolutely insane. The game does seem like to be presenting a little bit of a soft image in this presentation, but it's using a lot of depth of field and post-processing effects, so it's hard to make some determination as to the overall image quality of the title. In terms of UE5 features, I'd expect they're probably using all of the all the main ones. The only thing that I could really make out, given the state of this trailer, I did look for like SSR artifacts. I wasn't really spotting any. The shadows did seem quite finely detailed, so I expect, obviously virtual shadow maps are going to be a part of this one. I was just absolutely wowed by this, and the fact they actually showed off some gameplay, some real actual footage from the game, not just like close-up shots on the main character. I think it's terrific.
Mm-hmm. Alex?
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say this is much better. I mean, it wasn't I did like the fact that the last time they showed it off, it was like unadulterated clip of that gameplay. I think it was the first time they showed it off. It was like unadulterated clips of the gameplay, or it was the second time. I kind of like that style, but obviously mixing in with this like extremely chaotic music, it was very well done. Rendering wise, the issue I had with the trailer only was with the upload. Everything else I thought looked fantastic. If it's this Series X footage, then bravo to the team. It'll be a supremely handsome game on Series X. Especially, they showed off for the first time another main character, which I thought looked really, really. I don't know who the actor was, but that was a very good character model. My goodness. But I noticed there was something wrong with the trailer when they first showed off. This is me looking at the Jeff's YouTube channel, is when they showed off the logo for Ninja Theory. I was like, that logo doesn't even look native. like the super low res looking logo. I was like, oh no. So I this is once again just a cry, a plea. If you're going to be uploading things to YouTube, try and get like the highest quality possible. And this trailer, a lot of unfortunately the art here doesn't lend itself to good YouTube quality anyways. Dark, bluey blacks and some reds in there, which are getting chroma subsampled and stuff. So it isn't like super YouTube friendly necessarily, but I swear there's different ways to do this. But other than that, I just want to say, like, I'm very happy to see it. One thing that I kind of love is that this, they showed off combat. If you played the first game, I wouldn't say like the combat is the height of it at all. But it seems to take a much more central role here based upon everything. It seems like a much more chaotic story. And because it's taking place in like Viking Iceland apparently, or something like that, which should be brutal. And it did give me some serious Rise, Son of Rome vibes with the combat. Yeah. I was just looking, I was like...
Some might say the original is similar in that regard.
Yeah, I would definitely say it is. But like, just like the finishing move look to it, it didn't look like you were like tapping A and then doing damage, tapping A and doing damage or blocking. It looked like a lot of series of finishing moves that they were showing off the trailer, which gave me some serious Rise, Son of Rome's vibes. So that game lives on.
I think from my perspective, the takeaway I have is that there's a pleasing continuity in the quality of the assets all the way through the years. And it is literally years now that we've been seeing Hellblade trailers, every so often. And they seem to have, I don't know whether this will persist into the final game. Hopefully not, but they seem to be sticking with the 21:9 aspect ratio for it.
Good point.
But yeah, ultimately, what can I say? I mean, the character rendering, it seems to be a particular highlight, of course. That's something which we've seen right from the very first asset. If this is actual Series X capture, then this is just phenomenal stuff. Environments, beautiful. The quality of the art, just from start to finish, it just looks consistently brilliant. We do now have a confirmation. I don't know if we had it in the past, that it is going to be arriving in 2024 for PC and Xbox Series consoles. Man, I'm going to be really, really interested to see how it holds up on the Series S. Yeah. Any further thoughts, Oliver, on this one?
No, I just think it looks terrific. I'd love to see some more of the game, some extended gameplay footage. Like we did see, weirdly enough, like you mentioned, with that, I think it was the second trailer, because the first one was
second
kinda
trailer, right?
Yeah, the second one had that fight with the giant, and it was really big, and it was exciting, and it looked beautiful as well. And since then, we've seen like progressively less gameplay. So I'd love to see more gameplay instead of less. But this at least showed some gameplay.
We got maximum stabbing now. Lots of stabbing.
Lots of stabbing faces and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting that, there's so little that's actually shown, and the show itself, the Jeffs, is just so packed with content that it looks as though, the key trailers get maybe 2 and a bit minutes maximum. And then, everything else, it's like a minute to 90 seconds. So it's a bit of a shame that everything is so rushed.
It should be almost, I feel, 2 different things. It should be an award ceremony on one day, and another day should be trailer-thon, if you will.
Yeah, in fairness, this is what Microsoft does with their Xbox stuff at E3, right? Where they have a sort of show of everything, and then they sort of go into depth on a bit more of the major titles, which I think is a great approach. Question is, in this case, I suspect that there'll be scenarios where only showing a limited amount probably suits the developer.
Yes, right.
Yeah. I just want to make a quick note about disclosure again, because we always talk about this during event shows. Some of the trailers actually did specify the source material and where it came from. A lot of it didn't. And, it's actually a bit jarring just to have different levels of disclosure. It should, it should be a blanket policy across the whole show, really. It really is important to know what we're looking at. So, to actually sort of disclose that this is actually running on Series X, captured on Series X, I think it's a really big deal that people want to know about, right? Similarly with the rest of the stuff in the show.